Hi, and welcome to Spotlight Ammann. I'm Gloria Agbugla. Joining us today is the Associate Dean of Admission, Mark Ammann. He's one of the organizers behind the Finish the Race initiative, a full campaign created by Richland College Degree Audit Team. The purpose of this program is to promote college completion. A number of resources are assembled to help students succeed in their academic path. And Mr. Ammann is here to enlighten us about the measures. Thank you for being here, sir.
Thank you.
So my first question, tell me more about Finish the Race.
Well, Finish the Race came to be in response to a major problem that we've identified among students. And that is, this is a 2-year institution, and students are not completing within 2 years. It's typically 3, 4, 5 years. And we wanted to help students with resources to help them complete in the time allotted. So what we've done is we've gathered together all of the resources that we could identify within Richland College that could help students overcome barriers and obstacles to completion and put those together in one area so that they could locate them.
That's really interesting. So what are the resources that can help students? What are they?
Delighted you asked. Well, let's talk about the campaign itself, because the whole Finish the Race campaign is themed on running a race on a racetrack. Mm-hmm. So you've seen sprinters and runners and hurdlers and all that. So we've kind of used that, and we've broken it down into 5 steps. One is on your marks, which is basically preparation for the race. Okay. That has to do with submitting your application, submitting the documentation that's needed along with that, and the students who are currently here have already done that. Yes. So they're beyond step 1. Step 2 is ready, set, go. So it's about helping students to identify some of the things that they can, resources that they can use to get started. Things like general advising, STEM advising, what resources can I do to pick the courses out. Step 3 is really the big meat and potatoes of the whole program, and it's called staying on track. Mm-hmm. The reason that we felt this needed to be done is that we go back to the reasons that students are not completing within 2 years. Why is that? It's not just that students are lazy or that they don't want to do it. They do. Mm-hmm. But when you start to school, sometimes life has a way of smacking you in the face, and you've got all of a sudden healthcare mm-hmm. issues, or you've got job issues, work issues, whatever. And
financial
yes,
issues.
Financial.
Mm-hmm.
There are a number of things that can take a student and direct their attention away from their studies. Mm-hmm. And what we want to do is give them the resources to keep focused on that. So, for example, the Male Initiative Program, mm-hmm. Male Achievement Program, rather, MAP. One of the things that they do is for male students who typically complete at a slower rate than females for whatever reason. Very often they need to, work and get a job, and sometimes they don't have the clothing that's appropriate for interviews. And MAP actually has clothing that they can give to the student, ties and shirts and even jackets that they can wear to the interview.
So they train also mm-hmm. for answering the questions in
right.
the interview and
mm-hmm.
all that?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Also disability services. We have students all the time that have issues with dyslexia or other issues that get in the way of their studies, and this particular department can help them gain equity and be on an equal footstep with other students. Some of the Multicultural Center for our
international students.
International, correct. The Multicultural Center has a lot of help for them. Our Veteran Services Department is another one. We have sometimes students that are called into service, and there's not a lot to be done about that, but we do have a Veteran Services Department to help them. So all of these different departments and initiatives and groups are highlighted.
All part of the Finish the Race initiative?
Yeah, it's more of a loose conglomeration. So these are initiatives and departments and groups that have already existed within the college. Mm-hmm. And what we've done is we've gone through and identified them and put them into one place so the students can find them. So we built a website. It's richlandcollege.edu. /finish the race.
Okay.
And we wanted to make sure to get this information out to students. Right now, there are posters in every single classroom around campus. They look somewhat similar to this one. You'll see Mobius Thunderduck running down the track, and he's got his diploma in his hand. On the posters, we have both the Finish the Race webpage and the QR code. So students can actually scan it with their smartphones and go directly to the webpage. And they can look at those individual areas and say, well, I need to find, I need some help with studies. And there's a learning center that's highlighted there, or the school shelf resources.
It make all the path for students easier. It's like they can find all these areas, sorry, in one place.
Correct.
So it's easier, right? Oh, that's really interesting, because when I came here a year and a half ago, I did all that. I went to the Multicultural Center, and it's true that sometimes I was kind of lost, because it can be overwhelming.
Right.
We don't know where to start. We don't know how to, build the path for the degree, and so knowing that you can find this easily in one place is really, really interesting. I have one question. I'm not sure, confirm, but I think now the college receive money based on the completion rate, I think. So
Right.
how Finish the Race, or how does it affect the college, the community college, and our college now?
Well, interestingly enough, after Finish the Race began, that's when our college funding model changed.
Okay.
We used to be funded based on head count and how many students do you have, what's your population size? And people took a look at that and said, well, the population size is good, but the real question is, why are these students here? And when a student decides to go to school, it can be for a number of reasons. I want personal fulfillment, personal achievement. I want to say that I did this, or I made a promise to my parents or my grandparents that I was going to finish school, or doggone it, I really want something better for my life. I want a better car, better house, better whatever. And they find that the credential that they get is the key to increased earnings. So whether a student is here to get a certificate in order to get a better job, or to get an associate's degree, either for a better job or for transfer, or just to get core complete so that they can transfer, we get what are called points based on the student's achievement on those. Those points add up to the funding that we get. And every year, the funding increases on completion.
Okay.
So it just so happens that Finish the Race came about at the right time, because we're focused on the same thing, getting those students across that finish line. And yes, it does give the college more money, but ultimately it serves the students. And that's what we're all about, is helping the students achieve.
About that, because there is a real challenge in making students achieve and getting their degree, because now with the social media era and social media era, everyone, I feel like all the young folks now think that I don't need a degree anymore. I can just, break out through social media. I can create my business and my, let's say, website, and just post it on social media and get all the highlights and everything, maybe the likes and everything. So I feel like people are seeing, because there's a lot of influencers or a lot of personalities that succeed without completing a degree. So why would you say it's important to have a diploma now? Why would you say it's important to have a degree? Because I feel like people and young see less and less the importance on having a degree.
And I understand that. I'm social media savvy myself, even with these highlights in my hair. I pay attention to things like that. The fact is that the ones who are making money on social media are a very small fraction of all the people that are trying to. Same thing when it comes to sports. You've got someone who says, I'm going to play basketball for the Mavericks, or I'm going to play football for the Dallas Cowboys. Well, of all the hundreds and thousands of people that try out, you've got one person that actually might make it on the team. That person may not make it, may get cut. Social media is kind of the same way. You've got people that are trying to make it in this new Wild West frontier. It's something that didn't exist back when I was your age, for example. But now it's a thing, and some people are making it. But for every one that's making it, there are hundreds and thousands of people that are trying and not. And if you're talking about feeding a family, paying your rent, buying a house, buying a car, you want to make sure that that income is stable and steady. And one thing that our chancellor, Dr. Joe May, has said repeatedly is that the jobs that exist now, more than ever before, require something beyond a high school diploma. Whether that's a certificate, so that a student is trained in a particular area to get a job, or an associate's degree or bachelor's degree, something beyond just basic high school education is required for a job outside of social media, which is many of the jobs that are out there. And the ones who try to make it in social media and don't, go back and start looking for those jobs.
Right.
And then they might submit an application, and the difference between them not getting the job and someone else getting it might be the fact that that person happens to have a degree or a certificate or whatever. So it's increasingly important, yes.
I agree. And one of my last questions would be, compared to a four-year university, what are the challenges can face community college in general?
I'm glad you asked, because the challenges that a two-year community college or junior college student will face is typically, historically, we've been looked at as a transfer college. And the idea in the past was you come here, get your basics, and transfer. And then you go and get your bachelor's degree, hopefully. But again, life has a way of smacking you in the face, and even more so these days than in the past. So there are things that distract you, that kind of push you off to the side. And some of the other things are just the money that's involved. A typical four-year school is going to be 3 to 4 times the cost of what you would pay here at a two-year institution. And some students will try that initially, find out it's cost prohibitive, and come back to us because, hey, I can get my core completion here, or even I can even get my associate's degree and then transfer in. So some of it is a bit of a challenge figuring out what you want to do, but the other thing is that students have taken classes, what I call by cafeteria plan. In the past, when a student gets out of high school and goes into a two-year institution, it's real exciting, because I remember when I went to Tarrant County Junior College, that's back when it was junior instead of Tarrant County College now, and I thought it was wonderful that if I didn't like my instructor, I could drop. Wow, how cool is that? I couldn't do that in high school. And also, if I didn't like math, I didn't take math. I wanted to take the things that I wanted. So I might take electives or things that don't really count towards my degree, but I end up spending more money and taking more time. And so what we've done is we've implemented something called the guided pathways. And a guided pathways is going to take a student from the point where they enter and try to keep them on that road and get you from here to there as quickly as possible. Now, you as a student have the option to take classes that you want, but if you're going to take the equivalent of, I want a plate of fries with a side order of fries, and let me have some extra fries, you're not going to get that full meal that you're looking for. So Guided Pathways is going to help you take the courses that are going to be relevant to your degree plan and get you in, get you out, so that you can go on and get working. The mantra of the district right now is higher education that actually gets you hired, and that's what we want to do, is help students get there.
Yeah, it does actually, because the fact that it's also a smaller facilities compared to the four-year universities. In the classes, you have more time to speak, let's say, with your teacher, and the education is more personalized, I think, than the four-year university. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything you would like to add? Let's say your contact of where students can find everything they need.
Right. Okay. So if a student goes to www.richlandcollege.edu/finish-the-race, the student will find all the information they need on the program itself, our degree audit team. So if you need a point of contact, all of our team members are listed there. and they can go through and search for the different things that we have available. For example, one of the things that we have on Take the Lead is connecting students with campus life, athletics, intramurals, Phi Theta Kappa. All these things are assembled there, so it's a wealth of information. I would encourage every student to take a look at the posters and examine them, go to the website and check out to see what we've got for them, because it can really change lives, and we're excited about that.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ammann. Thank you for being here with us today. And I'm Gloria for Spotlight On. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey guys, I forgot to mention, Finish the Race is having a big event in El Paso Hall on December 5th and December 6th. We encourage all students to stop by. There's going to be swag and information available, and you'll get to be entered in a drawing for some really cool goodies. So we hope you'll stop by December 5th and 6th for Finish the Race Days. Thanks.